Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm back with another display video, this time for the Endgame Final Battle set that LEGO released in August of 2023. The set came with about, I think, half of the characters that were present in this scene in Avengers Endgame, so I've gone ahead and added in the other characters from my own custom A-Force display that I had created way back in 2019. You can find pictures of that on my Instagram at Golden Ninja 3000. But now that LEGO's given us this awesome set to display all these minifigures, I just wanted to show you guys my arrangement because I'm really happy with what I came up with. Before we get into the details though, just a reminder that I am a LEGO employee, but all opinions in these videos are my own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the LEGO Group, and LEGO is a registered trademark of the LEGO Group of companies, which does not sponsor, authorize, or endorse this site. So obviously this display is not accurate to the scene in the movie because all of the women kind of just lined up, and that is what I had built with my custom display in 2019. And I might go back and make a video on that, I don't know, but like I said, you can find pictures on my Instagram account. I'm just happy that we have this really nice display piece made by LEGO officially for me to put the minifigures on. So I've gone ahead and added in all of the characters. I guess we'll go over them quickly. You've got Captain Marvel, of course, Scarlet Witch, Gamora, Wasp is back there, Mantis, Nebula, Shuri, Okoye, and then if I tilt this up a little bit, you can see Rescue, and you can see Valkyrie at the very top. And you might be able to tell who my favorite characters are just by the kind of positions I've given them in the display. My favorites are Rescue, Captain Marvel, and Scarlet Witch. And of course we have Thanos in the middle. I do have Peter Parker as well, because they did assemble to like kind of protect him and get the gauntlet from him. However, I didn't put him in this display because in my previous display he was kind of in the middle, surrounded by the women, like how they were when Captain Marvel landed next to him. And I just didn't think he really fit into this scene, like this fictional scene where all of the women are fighting Thanos. Like, Peter was kind of out of it by the time that they were fighting him, so that's why I didn't include him. But yeah, this is a fictional scene because the women did gang up on Thanos, but not all of them were coming at him from all sides like this. And so I just wanted to kind of envision what it would be like if they had. And also, I'm calling this, like an A-Force display because that's the name of the all-female, like, offshoot Avengers team in Marvel Comics. However, they were never referred to as A-Force in the movie, and, it's just meant to be a little reference. So that's not the official name of what this team-up was. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into some of the finer details. I might actually have to switch to a camera lens that can zoom in a little bit more if we want to get in really close to the minifigures. The bigger camera lens would not focus, so we're actually just going to go ahead and stick with this one. So let's start with the characters that I like a little bit less so we can get through them quickly. I have Wasp all the way back there. She's kind of just hanging out, she's going after Thanos for sure, but she's just sitting back there. Yeah, Wasp is not one of my favorite characters, and I don't really like this minifigure of her a lot, so that's why I didn't want her displayed in a more prominent place. And then I have Gamora. Not that Gamora is one of my least favorite characters, but she's closest to Wasp, so I guess I'm not going in order of character anymore. I have Gamora coming at Thanos with Nebula coming at him from the other side because I really wanted the sisters to be able to get their revenge on their dad. That's something that they didn't get in Endgame. And honestly, one of my only issues with Endgame is that everyone that had a bone to pick with Thanos didn't get to confront him. Like Gamora didn't, Nebula didn't, Drax didn't, and so that's why I have Nebula and Gamora going after Thanos together. So Nebula's got her gun, Gamora has her sword. This is the Avengers Infinity War Gamora minifigure because that's the only one of her that is like, because that's the only one that's like most accurate to her look in Endgame, which was of course actually her look from Guardians of the Galaxy 1. And then Nebula actually doesn't have an Endgame accurate minifigure. At least like in casual clothes and like as in out of Avengers clothes. So I took the body from the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 version and stuck the head from last year's advent calendar on her because it has the orange stripe that's accurate to her endgame appearance. So she's right here. Then I have Mantis, and I actually don't know what version of Mantis this is. If someone wants to tell me in the comments, I don't know if this is her Guardians of the Galaxy 2 version, or if this is the version that's come in a couple of recent sets and also in that advent calendar. It's the same outfit, the printing is just slightly different, so that's why I don't know which version it is for sure. But yeah, Mantis is in the middle, and she's going to be using her like emotion powers or whatever to try to put Thanos to sleep. And I kind of just put her. I didn't want to put her up on these rocks because she's less important than Gamora and Nebula when it comes to who gets to fight Thanos. Then I have Shuri over here in the corner, and these rock pieces are actually kind of fragile when you're posing things up. I broke them a bunch of times trying to put minifigures on them. But Shuri back there is going after Thanos from the side. Shuri is one of my favorite MCU characters after Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but like not like Infinity War Endgame Shuri. She was cool, but she only became one of my favorite MCU characters when she became Black Panther. Not because she became Black Panther, just her whole storyline in Wakanda Forever. So that's why she doesn't get a more prominent place here. However, Okoye has a great spot up here by the Avengers logo, and unfortunately, because I'm on the little lens, I can't zoom in any more than that, but she is actually holding Thanos' sword back with her spear. And so I think that that's like a nice role for her to play, and I really like the way I have her posed up, like between this pillar, between the Avengers logo, because it seems like a really dangerous place to be, with all of the rubble about to fall. And I think that makes sense for Okoye's character. She's always running into dangerous situations to protect the people she cares about, and obviously in this case she's fighting for all of Earth, so I really love having her placed up in that corner. And now for the elephant in the room, Wanda. So I think it's a shame that the way I have her posed, you can't actually see her face from most angles, but Wanda gets the prime spot in this display because, as you guys know, she's my favorite Marvel character by a mile, and she's also one of only two people that could actually hold their own against Thanos in a fight. The other, of course, being Captain Marvel. And, I mean, she even got closer to defeating Thanos than Captain Marvel did. So that's why she gets the number one spot. Now, you can really tell with this display that I am struggling with the lack of pieces that I have in my new apartment in California, because my entire LEGO collection is still back home in Michigan, except for the stuff that I've bought in the last couple of months. So as a result, I don't have any transparent red pieces to make some really cool Wanda powers. And I'm really sad about it, because I have so many pieces back home that I could use to build up like some awesome energy beam for her. So I'm not super happy with the look of this, because it's just a bunch of studs and then one of those satellite dish pieces and then like a little bionicle eye. Also, I don't know why I'm pointing, because I can actually zoom in a little bit. It doesn't look very good, but you know what? Those are all the trans red pieces I have, and you can tell those are all extra pieces from the sets that I've built. So it's a shame, but that's the situation. I am definitely going to make this look better. Once I go home, I'm going to bring back some trans red pieces to really improve Wanda's powers. But you guys know I love this Wanda minifigure because I think it's the first perfect Scarlet Witch minifigure that LEGO has ever made. Her powers are the right color, her hair is the right color, she has her fabric skirt. Everything about this figure is perfect. And I mean, like, she doesn't have leg printing, but she doesn't need leg printing. She just wore plain black pants. So I'm very happy with how this whole thing looks. And then I also took like some really fun pictures with my new iPhone, which has a much better zoom than my old one. But I liked taking pictures and stuff from this angle where it's kind of more like Thanos' angle, and you can see Wanda coming at him and Nebula and Gamora. And yeah, I love being able to zoom in on stuff like this display because you can really get some dynamic action poses and stuff like that. And from Wanda, we go up to the most powerful superhero in the MCU. Although, actually, I guess that might be Gaia now after Secret Invasion, but we're never going to talk about that show again. So it's still Captain Marvel in my eyes. So Carol here, I didn't love this at first. She's kind of just blasting away from the action. Like, she's getting the heck out of here because, of course, she has the Nano Gauntlet complete with all 6 Infinity Stones, and Thanos definitely can't get his hands on that. Here's the thing, she's the most powerful superhero in the MCU, so I wanted her fighting him, I wanted her, like, blasting into the fight. But this is what she did in the movie. She picked up the Nano Gauntlet and she yeeted out. And so I think it's in character because the most important thing is making sure that Thanos doesn't get the gauntlet, not that Thanos is stopped. Like in this moment, it's just about preventing him from getting the stones. So that's why she's blasting away from the fight. I do really like the way I've posed her up. I love these new trans clear posing rods that LEGO introduced in August 2023. So I actually just have her kind of sitting on the studs, and then I used the pieces from the Marvels set. So I'm really glad I had that because she didn't come with any of these power burst pieces in this Endgame Final Battle set. And again, all my extra power bursts are back home, so I'm really glad that I got the Marvel set and that it had some of these so that I could make this display look good. I'm really suffering being separated from my LEGO collection, guys. It makes it much harder to do displays and to like kind of pair sets up together that are complementary. I planned ahead for this set. The only reason why I have all of these other minifigures here is because I knew this was coming out, because the pictures were revealed, obviously, and I just knew I wanted to set up this display. So I thought ahead and brought the figures, but I didn't bring all their accessories. But anyway, I really should have thought about that. But anyway, back to Carol. I'm talking a lot in this video, but as you guys can tell, I really like this display. So she's blasting away from Thanos. He's kind of looking up at her and then raising his sword like he's trying to slice her. And so she's blasting him with some energy from her hands to kind of get him out of the way. And of course, Okoye is helping her out by holding the sword down. But I do think that this is the most dynamic section of my display. I think you can really feel the movement here. I love my Wanda as well, but she just doesn't feel quite as dynamic. And again, part of that is if I had more pieces, I would have more red magic and I would have more stuff like coming up and adding motion to her. And so for Carol, like the power bursts do so much of the heavy lifting. And I've placed her legs at slightly different angles, so it really looks like she's just getting out of there as quickly as she can. But yeah, I think that this little section of the display is the best in my opinion because of everything that's going on and how all of the characters are interacting with each other. But speaking of movement, I'm also really happy with what I achieved with Rescue, considering I have such few parts on hand to, make these people fly in the air, because Wanda would definitely be flying higher if I was at home with my full LEGO collection. So with Rescue, I used a couple of extra pieces, and I'll show you how I connected her in just a second. But to me, this is the most successful LEGO flying pose I have ever done, because she just looks completely suspended in midair. She doesn't have those huge, obvious, trans clear bars coming out from underneath her. So I'm just really, really happy with what I got. But I actually think I need a better angle for her. I meant a better camera angle, not a better flying angle for the minifigure. But yeah, she has her legs, again, going in like different directions. She has her power blast pieces, and she has her little jetpack deployed. The rescue suit is my favorite Iron Man suit, and if you guys know me, like if you're a subscriber, you might know that Iron Man was my favorite MCU character before Scarlet Witch came around in Age of Ultron. So Iron Man suits have a very special place in my heart, and I think Rescue's is the best. I think hers is one of the best LEGO Iron Man minifigures, and I'm in love with the way that I posed her. Not to brag, but I think I did an excellent job. So I also think that she looks fantastic from the back with the thrusters on her backpack. And I do actually have 2 Rescue minifigures. I made sure to buy a second one in 2019. So I've got one that permanently lives in my Hall of Armor, and then one that permanently lives in whatever A-Force display I have at the moment. So this is actually a really good shot. As you can see, I just used 3 of these like superhero posing pieces that were first introduced with the DC CMF a few years ago in like 2020. And they're literally just plugged into one of the holes on the back of her leg. I was posing her around for like half an hour trying to figure out a good angle because these pieces can like also move, and then you can kind of move it in and you can move it out. So I kept trying to get the perfect position, and this is definitely it. Like, this is just the dream. Like, I think that she looks so perfect, and like I said, it's the best flying pose that I've managed to display a LEGO minifigure in. So I'm definitely going to be like taking this build idea into things like my LEGO City display, which again is back home in Michigan. But I'm hoping when I go home for Thanksgiving, I'll have time to work on that display. I kind of doubt it because I'm so busy doing a bunch of stuff all the time. But let's hope. I'll try to make it a priority. And then finally, we have Valkyrie, who's decided that she's better than everyone else and she doesn't need to help fight Thanos. No, I'm just kidding. I love Valkyrie, but this LEGO set came with like the perfect place to pose her on her Pegasus, up at the very top, coming out of one of Doctor Strange's portals. So who am I to mess with, her intended display area? There's definitely not enough room for a horse down closer to Thanos, and I just love having Valkyrie like sitting atop this display on top of that magnificent Pegasus coming out of the portal to help. So even though, again, this is nothing like the movie because Valkyrie did not arrive late to the battle on a Pegasus, she arrived on time to the battle on a Pegasus. I still just wanted to have her up here. So again, it seems a little bit out of character that she wouldn't be like jumping straight into the fray with everyone else, but I think what looks better for the display is better than what makes canonical sense. But I think I have made everything make canonical sense for the most part. So yeah, so Valkyrie just chills out there while everyone else gets their punches in on Thanos before her. Alright, well, that's it for this video. Like, I just really wanted to show you guys how I was displaying all of these minifigures, and like I said, I'm super happy with how it came out and how they're all fighting Thanos together, and I think I've built up a nice little story around it, and this is the set I'm going to be very happy to have on display for a long time, because I loved my little A-Force display that was, again, accurate to the movie, with all of the women just standing in a line together about to fight, but it's much more dynamic, it's much more exciting to have a model like this where everyone can be in on the action. The only thing I wish is that I had access to my entire LEGO collection because I need more trans clear pieces, I need more trans red pieces. Like, I would have added like a little bit more, not like a lot more to this display, but Wanda would definitely have a bigger presence and Rescue would have like just a little bit more of a bigger presence. But again, working within the constraints I had led me to doing stuff, like putting Rescue up there like that. I mean, that was phrased badly, but you know what I mean. Working with the very few pieces I had let me come up with that amazing display that I might not have come up with if I had, like more transclear bars to insert all over the model. So overall, I'm really happy with this display. I really like this set in general, but it's definitely better if you have some of these other characters that weren't included in the set at home so that you can put all of the characters together into the scene. So let me know what you guys think about this display in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well, and I'll see you guys in more videos soon. Bye for now.